welcome to this week's edition of the City Update. I'm your host, Mark Aaron, Multimedia Design Manager for the City of Danville. Today, we're outside the studio for the grand opening of the Franklin Turnpike Connector here in the City of Danville. We're going to hear from a lot of dignitaries on today's show just about this project. We're going to cut the ribbon on the new road. But, of course, the Franklin Turnpike Connector will be a connector for anyone on the north side of town to get to easy access to the bypass. So if you're heading out towards the Chatham area or heading even towards Greensboro and you're in North Danville, this will a little 2-mile stretch would get you onto the bypass and get you where you're going a lot quicker. Probably save you 10 or 15 minutes route depending on where you are here on the north side of town. Of course, it'll also ease traffic on Piney Forest Road and maybe even increase some traffic on Franklin Turnpike as people are heading over to this stretch of road here at the new Franklin Turnpike Connector. So let's take you out now to our MC of Ceremonies, the Mayor of the City of Danville, Sherman Saunders, to hear more about this wonderful new project here in the City of Danville.
Good morning. And thank you for being here for this very, very special occasion where we open a new road, but not today. Not today. There are more safety features that must be completed, but we are going to cut the ribbon. Let me first of all thank the members of the North Main Street Baptist Church for allowing us to use their property from time to time as we work on this road. Let me recognize a few people. When I call your name, will you please stand, remain standing, hold your applause, please, until the end. Mr. Randy Hamilton is here. If you're standing, raise your hand, please. Highway engineer a few years ago for our district and started this project. Randy, welcome back. Delegate Don Merrick. City Manager, will you remain standing, please. City Manager Joe King. Delegate Danny Marshall. Clerk Gerald Gibson. County Administrator Dan Sleeper, Vice Mayor David Luther, Councilman Fred Shanks, Councilman Alonzo Jones, Supervisor Mr. William Pritchett, Council Member Buddy Raleigh, and thank you so much. If I did not call your name, it's because you are more important than the rest of us. Okay. Thank you so much. One of these flags happened to smack me in the face. Don't laugh too loudly, okay? But it's okay. I love the red, white, and blue. And, of course, we love our great Commonwealth as well. The Franklin County, Mr. Stanley, see, we waited for you. That's why I said that, okay? That was not a Freudian, it was a mistake. The Franklin Turnpike extension was envisioned as part of the original Route 29 bypass concept plan. It was recognized that a feeder highway was needed to get traffic in and out of the city to the bypass. The purpose of the connector is to give citizens in North Danville and the Mount Hermon area a quick, safe access to Route 29 to go to Lynchburg or Greensboro and avoid the traffic congestion on Piney Forest Road. This is a 1.3-mile long, 4-lane, limited access highway with a raised grass median divider. The estimated cost is $19 million. The project is partially in the city and partially in Pennsylvania County. It will serve both city and county residents and another example of the county and city working together to get things done. In this time of limited highway funds for new construction, the Commonwealth Transportation Board and VDOT staff recognize that the time had come to complete this project. It is one of the largest VDOT construction projects in Southside, Virginia. Several large tracts of land along the highway have been zoned commercial. City Council requested and VDOT approved one access point for a future commercial street on each side of the bypass for future development. The city extended water, gas, and sewer lines with the highway construction to prepare for this development. Electric lines can easily be installed when needed. This is a prime location for a regional outlet shopping center where traffic can easily get on and off Route 29 at the full interchange. I want to thank you for coming today, and we have many speakers lined up, and they will come in this order. Mr. Corey Hobble will come for Mr. Tim Barber, Chairman Board of Supervisors, Pennsylvania County. Mr. Kenneth White will be here, former Lynchburg District Commonwealth Transportation Board member. Mark Peake, Delegate Danny Marshall, Senator Bill Stanley, and then we'll cut the ribbon. Please come in that order.
Good morning. Welcome on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of Pittsylvania County and the citizens. It's a great day today. Although it won't be open, we know it won't be long, a few things to finish up. But this connector from the Route 41 over to the bypass is going to be great. It's like I told them earlier this morning, you know, we could have had it on either end and it would be a win-win situation with the joint cooperation between the city and the county. If you leave on one end, you're going to wind up on the other. If you leave on the other, you'll be on the other. So either way, you're going to be in the county or the city, and that's what we want. Just a brief remark on the VDOT. It's a pleasure to see Mr. Ken White here this morning. I know when all these projects were started from Lynchburg, I've had the privilege working with Ken for many years, and just a super guy, and it's a great honor to have you here today on this occasion. And too, Mark, it's great to have you here representing the Lynchburg district, and we've been fortunate with that. And upon that, you know, we're just looking forward to using this highway and hope it would better the citizens of Danville and Pittsylvania County, and any guests we have traveling through our area. It would make it more convenient and economical, and that's what we're working together for. Thank you.
Good morning as well. I feel very flattered to be invited to this. And Coy, thank you for those very kind remarks. I came on the Transportation Board, I think, in 2001. And I remember very well, I knew nothing about transportation. Unlike Mark Peake, who has quite a background and a lot of experience in transportation issues. And you're in good hands with him, by the way. On my first visit to Danville, the then city manager, Jerry Gwaltney, and the then planning director, Jerry Fisher, got me down here because they knew I didn't know what was going on, and they wanted to show me the transportation projects that were currently underway in Danville, as well as those that were on the board. And I still remember driving around the Danville Expressway, and we approached this overpass with exits that were blocked off. And I said, "What is that?" And they both answered together, "That's the interchange to nowhere." And it was the bridge over the expressway for the future Franklin Turnpike connector. Well, that really struck me, and it really impressed others as well, that the Commonwealth had spent all of this money on this expressway, and they were not getting the full value of their investment out of it, because this connector will serve thousands of people. Those of you, Mr. Mayor, you may know the exact number, but it was just incredible to me that it was not open. And that was a period, as you may recall, where there was very little money. And I guess it's like today, Mark, there's very little money. But fortunately, we were able to cobble it together. And under the leadership of your great district administrator, Rob Carey, this project came to fruition. And I drove down here today expecting to be able to drive across this highway. And Mr. Mayor, my heart sank when you said, "We're here to open it, but not today." That was a surprise to me. So this is a happy day for all of you, and it's a happy day for me. And in closing, I would like to go back to this funding issue. And I'm glad there are members of the House and the Senate here. Secretary Connaughton recently made the headlines again, as so often his predecessors have in the past, that construction money is running out. We've had sort of a brief hiatus in stimulus money and the borrowed funds that the General Assembly recently provided. But in terms of long-term, for the economic viability of the state of Virginia, we have to continue to improve our transportation system. We have to continue investing in our infrastructure. And hopefully at this session we can see a bipartisan effort to come out with a solution that appeals to a majority of Virginians, that does deal with our long-term needs. Thanks again for the invitation. I appreciate it.
Ken was telling you a story. I really don't know much about transportation either, and I got the same treatment that you did shortly after I was appointed to the board. Rick D and a group of Danville folks, they got me down here immediately and showed me around as well and all the fantastic things y'all have got going on down in this area. And I just want you to know that Ken, just as Ken did as Lynchburg District Chairman, and though we live in Lynchburg, we're very aware of what's going on down here in the south side, Danville, all the way up the corridor, and are very interested and want to give Danville and this entire area all the attention we give any area in the Lynchburg district. And that's why it's so nice to be down here to see a project that's actually about to be completed. And I want to thank Ken for the years that he spent. He's one of the most respected members of the Commonwealth Transportation Board, and it's quite a task to try and replace him, which I cannot do. And that's why you've got projects like this, because of what he's done on the Transportation Board and what he's just said to the members of the legislature about the need for transportation money. He's been a constant supporter of transportation, and I hope everybody will take his comments to heart. And what Ken said is very true. Money is a very difficult thing. It was 10 years ago. It is now, and it's going to continue to be a problem. And we've got to fight to make sure we get our share of projects like this, and we will continue to do that. But it is a very tight resource, and construction dollars are down, and it's nice to have a $19 million project like this here in Danville and Pittsylvania County and in the Lynchburg district. But as you know, this project started back in the 1990s, and I'd like to thank the project engineer, Mr. Daniel Brown of VDOT, and the consultant bridge designer, Ecom, for their efforts in designing this quality project, and Anderson & Associates for their in-plan utility work. A lot of people have put in a lot of hard hours to make this project come to fruition. Key Construction was the prime contractor on this project. Bill Nunn and Tim Nunn, the president and vice president, are with us here today. Thank you. We also want to thank your subcontractors, Dewberry and Davis, PJ Casanave Land Clearing, Atlantic Construction Fabric, Protection Services, J.D. Rafault, D.T. Reed Steel, Adams Construction, Nicholston Industries, Classic City Mechanical, Payne's Parking Design, C.W. Wright Construction, W.L. Construction and Paving, Boss Construction Company, Penhall Company, and Douglas Explosives. Thank you all for all the hard work you did in making this project come through. The quality of this project owes a nod to the consultant inspectors, NXL for VDOT, and RK&K for the water and gas for the city of Danville. Thank you for the work y'all did. I also want to recognize, as Ken did, our district supervisor, district administrator, Rob Carey. He's come in here, it's been about 2 years now, and we had been in kind of an interim period, and things have really picked up under Rob. He's gotten projects going, he's gotten engineering studies going, he's gotten on top of projects, and things are really happening now under Rob's leadership, and I appreciate all that you're doing and all that you're doing to keep me up to date as well on everything that I need to know. He's also been helped tremendously by Robert Garcia, the Assistant District Administrator for Construction. Where's Robert? I saw him come in here. Well, way back in the back. Thank you, Robert. Good to see you again. The project manager for this project was Zach Weddle. Is Zach here? And also in charge of the day-to-day construction management of the project is Vic Reese. Thank you, Vic, and thank you all for your hard work on moving this project forward. And finally, I want to thank all the local officials who are here today, and the citizens for coming out to help enjoy this ribbon cutting and support this project. And I hope this project will provide you with years of congestion-free travel, and more importantly, open up this area for economic development. Danville needs it, Southside needs it, and I hope projects like these will continue in the future, and I hope this project will continue to help with economic development for the area. Thank you all for allowing me to be here.
Good morning. My name's Danny Marshall. I'm a member of the House of Delegates, and I represent the city of Danville in the southern part of Pennsylvania and the eastern part of Henry County. Governor McDonald's 2011 transportation funding package set the framework for investing an additional $4 billion into the Commonwealth Transportation Network over the next 3 years, the largest investment in transportation in decades. Specifically, the package will accelerate the previously authorized sale of CPR bonds in fiscal year 12 and 13 so that the CTB can issue an additional $1.8 billion in bonds over the next 3 years, and authorize the issuance of $1.2 billion in federally backed direct Garvey bonds. It creates a new Virginia Transportation Infrastructure Bank to make low-interest loans and grants to help leverage other public and private funds. At a time when we are seeing near historic low interest rates and construction prices are significantly below estimates, in some cases as much as 40%, I know Key Construction and others don't want to hear that, but below estimate costs, the governor's package wisely and prudently leveraged available funds to get more projects done with less and put Virginians all across Commonwealth back to work. It is important to note that this is not new debt. The General Assembly authorized the issuance of the CPR bonds back in 2007, and VDOT has the revenues available from the issuance of premium tax to support the bonds. Further, the bonds do not jeopardize Virginia's long-standing position as a AAA state, nor coveted 5% debt capacity that we imposed upon ourselves. The $4 billion in additional funding will support various phases of over 900 projects all throughout the Commonwealth. An independent economic analysis states that once these fully implemented, the governor's package will support an additional 105,000 jobs across the Commonwealth and grow the Virginia economy by $13.1 million. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Now, isn't this fitting that we've been suffering, well, I wouldn't say suffering, but we've had clouds and rains for 3 days, but as we stand here today, the clouds have broken, the sun is shining, as the sun shines down here on Southside on a new day, as this road symbolizes. I'm Bill Stanley. I'm honored to be your senator in Richmond for you, representing, especially honored to represent Pennsylvania and Danville. And really, this place is different. And what I've come to grow and love about this place is that the people in government have an enduring spirit, a can-do attitude that is not seen in the rest of Virginia. And that is what is going to carry us through to our future. And if I may take a moment just to also compliment you all on the good government that you have, both in the Pennsylvania Board of Supervisors and the gentlemen that serve there, and also the Danville City Council and the ladies and gentlemen that serve there, and really Mayor Sherman Saunders, who I think always leads off on these things, but never gets the credit where credit is due. He is great leadership in the city of Danville, make great projects happen. So if you would, join me in a round of applause. He never gets one, but I'm going to give him one right now. Mayor, thank you. You know, they say all roads lead to somewhere. And this road symbolizes the pathway to our future and the return to economic prosperity. Because this road will carry employees to their future jobs. This road will carry businesses, goods, and services to their future destinations. Now, it may just be 2 miles. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first 2 miles of many roads that will lead to Southside and will lead to Southside's economic prosperity in the future. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the future leads to Southside, and Southside will lead in the future. I am honored to be here to cut this ribbon on this road. I know that all of us today look at this road not only for its usefulness and its utility, but also of other roads with a commitment through local partnerships, private investments, and state government that we will build to make sure that when industry returns, and it will return, that it has all of the infrastructure that it needs to be successful, whether it's in the 29 bypass or I-73 or the widening of 58. A community commitment is required in any venture, whether it be building of a road or a community center or a park. But a community commitment is something that we don't lack when it comes to returning our area to the greatness that it once had. The sun is rising as it rises today over a new south side, a new south side full of prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hobble, Mr. White, Mr. Peake, Delegate Marshall, and Senator Stanley. I tell you, it's a beautiful day. Something just said, the road, I learned, will be open within the next 2 weeks. Don't have a date and time. Wayne Morrison, within the next 2 weeks over there, sir, my very good friend. I'd like to ask all the speakers today, all supervisors, all council members, please join us as we cut the ribbon. Thank you so much.
Well, joining me now is the city engineer for the city of Danville, Kent Shelton. And Kent, I know we had some great words from all the dignitaries at our ceremony today, of course, cutting the ribbon on the new Franklin Turnpike connector. But for our viewers who may not be familiar with this stretch of road, what will it be connecting here in the city of Danville to the bypass?
Right now we're standing at the intersection of North Main Street and the Franklin Turnpike connector. This new limited access highway will go over to the Route 29 bypass at the Cloverleaf interchange there.
Okay, very good. So this is looking forward to, I guess, easing some access on North Main Street, and for individuals that are looking to hit, go to Blair's from this area, they can hit right the bypass within a 2-mile stretch, right?
That's right. The whole purpose of this project was to give a feeder from North Danville and the Mount Hermon area to be able to quickly get to the bypass and not have to travel on Piney Forest Road or go north through Blair's.
So this will also ease traffic on Piney Forest Road.
Yes, traffic going to Greensboro will have a quick access to get to the bypass.
Now, do you have any idea of how many people travel this Franklin Turnpike area on a daily basis? I mean, I know it's quite a few.
Yes, we just took a traffic count on Franklin Turnpike between Pine Forest Road and North Main Street, and it was 7,800 vehicles per day. That traffic will increase once this new connector road is opened up.
Well, Kent, tell me a little bit about funding for this project. Was this all state money, and how much state money went towards this, and were there any local matches?
This is all state money as part of the Virginia Highway Primary System, and the estimated cost was $19 million.
And I know it's set on the shelf for quite some time, I know, because of the funding that we receive from the state for VDOT. There's certain projects that get funding, certain that don't. So how did this finally come about?
Well, the Highway Department had already built the interchange there on Route 29, and they had bought a lot of the right-of-way years ago. And so finally the Highway Department just wanted to put a priority on this and just get it built.
Very good. Well, Kent, thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for all you do for the city of Danville. And we're looking forward to getting on the new connector.
Thank you, Mark.
That's going to wrap it up for this edition of the City Update. Thank you all for joining us today as we celebrate the grand opening of a new stretch of road here in the city of Danville, the Franklin Turnpike connector. And, of course, we thank Ken Shelton for joining us today to provide a little bit more insight on this project. So until next time, have a great day.